you ever wondered if body weight squats were enough to do the job? Well, today we're going to talk about 4 different types of squats, how they work differently, and how they can benefit you. Hi, my name is Julie. I've been a certified personal trainer and group fitness instructor for many years, and I am here to educate women over 50 on how to exercise at this phase in their life. So I've already been warming up a little bit. I highly recommend that you warm up by doing some side to sides like I'm doing, some hamstring curls, or just walk for 2 to 3 minutes. You want to get the body warmed up. I'm going to go through some basic exercises, as I said, 4 different types of squats. So the first one we're going to talk about is just your basic squat, and the proper form for that is you want your feet under your shoulders or just slightly outside the shoulders, depends upon your body shape, with your toes slightly out. I don't have a lot of room out here, y'all, so I'm doing the best I can. So you want those toes slightly out. Turn to the side so you can see. So what you want to do when you go to a squat, I want you to pretend like you're sitting down behind you on a bench, a chair, or something like that. Take your arms straight out forward to start, so to counterbalance, and you want to sit back like you're sitting down on the couch or a chair. All right, so think about sitting down and back and not coming forward or bending the knees. If I had a board in front of my knees, they would not be able to go past that board, at least not by much. So the old wisdom used to say that you don't let your knees go past your toes. That's not always the case anymore, we know from research, but we still want to try to sit down and back. When you come up, you want to push through your heels, squeeze your glutes right there, activate. Abs are in tight, chest is lifted, my head's in line with my spine, down and back. Sit down, press through the heels on the way up. Sit down and back, press through the heels. Now, why are these body weight squats effective? As long as you are still feeling the resistance of your own body, really contracting the muscles, getting into it, knowing what you're working and feeling those muscles work, it's a good starting point, particularly if you have not been exercising for a while. Another thing you can do with regular body weight, regular squats, put your hands right here in a prayer position, sit down and back. Now again, this is our regular squat. Abs are in tight, push through the heels. So with the squat, you're gonna feel it in the quads, but when you come up, I want you to push through your heels and you'll feel it more in the glutes right here. Let's take a couple more, then we're gonna go to our next type of squat. Give me one more, come on up, good. Kick those feet out. We haven't even gotten into pulsing yet. We'll get to that. Now let's put a little disclaimer in here. Squats are scary for some people because of the knees. If you have bad knees, you may choose to not attempt squats at all. Although personally, I feel like if you choose to do them and you learn how to do it correctly, it's not going to bother your knees. You're going to strengthen the muscles around it, which is what's going to help you in the long run. However, always consult with your doctor, always make modifications if you need to, and if it's just not the right time for you to incorporate squats into your workout, that is okay as well. So just keep those things in mind when you get started, and start small with no weight, which is another reason why body weight squats can be beneficial. They're great for beginners, and they are great for if you don't want to add any extra weight for whatever the reason may be. I highly recommend you start with just your body weight. Okay, let's go on to the second type of squat, which is a sumo squat. In a sumo squat, you want your feet outside your hips. Toes are still to the corner. Visualize a sumo wrestler. You know those big guys, and they kind of wander around like this, you know, stomp, 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 and they're big and heavy, and they're going to wrestle against each other. I suppose that's why it's got its name, because you're low into it, keeping the knees bent. So in a sumo squat, feet are outside the shoulders, toes to the corner, and we can take arms forward again. But we're still going to try to sit down and back, where it's not going to be as much of a hinge because our knees are farther apart. So I want you to sit still, pretend like you're sitting your tailbone down behind you towards the floor. And then the advantage to a sumo squat is you're getting a little bit inner thigh action here too. So when you come up, visualize having a big resistance ball between your legs. You're squeezing it, trying to pop it. So that way you're getting that benefit as well. Let me show you from the side. Outside the hips, toes to the corner, hands forward, sit down and back. Make sure that you have the knees tracking towards those toes. One of the hardest things to do for a lot of people, especially if they don't have the strength, is to keep the knees going towards the toes. You don't want those knees caving in as you go down, okay? You want to visualize them tracking the same direction as those toes. Also, take care not to let those knees go too far past the toes. Again, this is just general form. This is not specific to anyone who has, you know, a unique need or something wrong with your body or muscle that's not working right, or it's bothering you. Discomfort is fine as far as a burn in the muscles when you're working out, but anytime you feel a pain, a sharp stabbing pain, you want to stop. And I know from experience that once I got past a certain age, sometimes I just had some random pains come up. Who knows why? No idea. Have you ever had that happen to you? You're just going along throughout your day and all of a sudden something gets you in the hip or in the knee. That happens when we get over 50 particularly. So there may be days where you have to adjust your workout to not include things like this. Keep that in mind. Third type of squat is a narrow squat. A narrow squat is more quad dominant. It definitely is a little more challenging on the knees because there's more of a forward movement. This is used a lot in bar classes and things, but you're elevated up on the toes. I'm going to show it to you two ways. But with a narrow squat, you definitely want those feet under the shoulders, maybe even a little closer, but parallel. Think about railroad tracks, okay? Your knees to come forward. Take the arms out again. Now again, we're going to sit down and back, but we're not going very far because we don't want our knees to come too far forward. But I'll bet you if you start doing this, you're going to immediately feel it in those quads. Let's try that again. Sit down and back and come up. So on these, I do these on good knee days, okay? If I'm having a bad knee day, I'm not going to spend that much time on these because it definitely hits more here and it will put a little bit more stress on the knee. So just focus on only going an inch or two down and coming up. Notice I'm still not letting my knees come too far forward. I'm focusing on sending my booty back and up. I'm going to demonstrate for you how we would do it in a bar class because I've also taught bar for many years. Pretend like this little lovely bench here is my bar. Okay, so in a bar class, we would do something called a wide pencil, or open pencil, where our feet were underneath our hips, just like I mentioned. We would come up on the balls of our feet, and we would bend your knees slightly and send your tailbone more straight to the ground. Now notice I'm only having to go an inch or two here, maybe an inch or two. By being up on my toes, transfers the weight a little bit, just makes this extra challenging in the quads. And what will end up happening is you'll probably end up shaking, which is fine. Means we're fatiguing the muscle. Notice I'm keeping my shoulders stacked over my hips over my heels. So I personally love bar workouts because they're very small movements, almost isometric. I'm gonna hold it down to show you. Hold it in that contracted position and just give me a tiny little pulse, a little down and up, a down and up. And then as you get better, you can work on your balance to where you're not even holding on to anything. As I start to pulse, I'm immediately feeling the burn through the quads. So that's why this is such a good exercise. But if you were not doing the bar, fourth type of squat is going to be a single leg squat. Single leg isolation is excellent to do because we want to make both sides work independently of one another so that you can't favor one side or the other as much. You know how you have a strong side and a weak side? You know how we have balance better on one side than we have on the other? We have one leg that's more dominant than the other. When we're doing a regular squat, for example, you might tend to favor the strong leg, and you have to really work at keeping that weight centered and pushing through both and utilizing both legs equally. When you do a single leg squat, we're taking the time to focus on one leg at a time. So let's say I'm going to work my left leg. There's a few ways to do it. I personally prefer popping the other foot up, opposite in front, because it keeps the weight off of it. Okay, there's other ways to do it. You can take a leg back or what have you, take it out. But I like to do this. I'm a little pop on the toe. This leg, this ankle is underneath the hip. So shoulders are over the hips. Everything's in a nice straight line. Again, this is a shallow squat. So I'm going to sit down and back and come up. Other foot here. No weight on it. It's just for balance. Down and back and up. So again, pushing through the heel. Now what you're going to notice here is you're having to really work to stabilize, which is why it's really good as well. You are working all those muscles, ligaments, etc. surrounding the knee, the hip, keeping that stable. So just down and back, push through the heel, squeeze. Down and back, push through the heel and squeeze. Let's switch it out. I have my right leg popped up. I'm going to turn. I'm going to pop up on my left toe. Take the hands in front, shoulders back, abs tight. We're going to sit down and back and come on up. Sit down and back and come on up. All right, again, can you show yourself that you don't have any weight on this foot? As you get more advanced, you might be able to hold that foot up. Now this is a tough one too. You may not want to graduate to this one, but it's just body weight. But since all the weight is on one leg, it's going to be more effective. Another reason why body weight squats can still be very effective. Now in all these that I showed you, we need to do high reps. If you have no weight, if you're not holding any dumbbells, if you don't have a barbell on your back, you have nothing like that, and you're brand new, body weight might be fine, but you still want to graduate from just single reps to maybe some pulsing reps. You want to get to where you feel the muscles burning. That's when you know you're breaking down those muscle fibers a little bit. You're going to start to make some progress. So that's what you want to do there. And I've showed you the proper technique for 4 types of squats. We're going to go ahead and go through a set of these, doing about 30 to 45 seconds of each, okay? So what you want to do first, take those feet just outside the hips, not much. This is for your regular squat. Take your toes forward, slightly out, depending upon your pelvis and how you're built. Take those arms forward. I want you to sit down and back, right here, down, 2, and push through the heels. Sit down, really focus on squeezing the glutes. Focus on keeping those abs tight. All right, let's keep that going. If your arms get tired like this, you can take them in front in prayer hands. You could have them on your hips, but I recommend they stay in front of the body. Now notice again, I'm gonna go down 2, up 2, down, 2, up. It's not about how low you go at this point. It's about how much you contract those muscles. Push through the heels and squeeze the glutes. Down 3, up 1, 3, 2, 1, up, 3, 2, 1, and up, 3, 2, 1. Last one here. We're going to finish with a long pulse. Pulse it low. That's it. Abs in tight. Do a little check. Shoulders are back. We're not bending forward with the knees. We're sitting our booty behind us. 4, 3, 2, and come on up. All right, good. That was one set of our basic squats. Now we're going to go to a set of our sumo squats. Similar format. Take your feet outside the hips a little more, toes to the corner, take it down. Okay, sometimes I think about frog legs here on a sumo squat. If you have ever done ballet before, you would also call this a wide second. Okay, again on this one, get a little inner thigh action. Squeeze those inner thighs on the way up. We're still on our 2 twos, down slow. Squeeze on the way up. We're going to switch it up. Down 3, up 1. Slow. 2, 1, quick. 3, 2, 1, quickly up. 3, 2, 1. Don't forget to have those knees tracking towards the toes. Down and pulse. Pulse. All right. Good. Stay here. Sometimes I like to even out the 32 counts, so let's finish up this 8. Stay right here, last 4, 3, 2, come on up. Shake it out. Okay, take it out. Shake it out if you want. Still going through with no weights, body weight only. Narrow squat is coming. Feet under the hips, toes forward, sit back. Now again, remember on this one, we don't go back as far, okay? Tiny. Still distribute the weight evenly, but on your way up, think about pushing through the heel. Down 3, 2, 1, squeeze, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze. It's hard to keep those feet closer, isn't it? Go down and pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. All right, we getting any crackling or anything like that? I'll talk about that in a minute. Single leg squat. So we're gonna do single leg isolation. Let's work our right leg first. Pop up on this left toe. The pop up is right in front of the other toe, not behind, okay? Right here. Hands in prayer if you want. Now we're gonna do singles. Again, pretend like somebody's trying to push you down on a little bench here. Okay? Sit back and up. There's some fun ways to change this up too. Down 2, up 2, down 2, press through that heel, squeeze. I really feel this in the quads. You probably will too. So when you come up and you push through the heel, you'll feel it here in the glutes. Down 3, 3, 2, 1. Almost done with these. You got a pulse coming. Pulse it out right here. Pulse it low, low. Abs in tight. Stay there. 4, 3, 2. Come on up. Pick it out. Good job. All right, we did our right leg. We're going to do our left now. Pop up on this right toe right here. Hands go back to prayer. Start with singles. Sit down and back. Sit down and back. Okay, again, take your time. Sit down and back and up. No weight on this front leg. Hold, down 2, up 2, down 2. Press through the heel on the way up. Down 2 and up for 2. All body weight here, but it's all on one leg. That's why it's so good. Down 3, up 1, 3, 2, 1, and up. Keeping the side a little bit shorter. All right, 2 more. Last one right here. 3, 2, go down, pulse it out. Pulse and pulse. Abs in tight. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Kick it out. All right, so for our stretches, remember I did another video on this, but if you can balance, you want to do a standing quad stretch. Figure 4 is another one, so I'm going to demonstrate that. Go ahead, stop this and start it again. How long? I'm going to hold on to, reach back, grab that foot if you can, bring it towards you. Gently push that hip towards the front. That's your quad stretch. Front of the thigh here, okay? Inhale, exhale. Did good. Might be feeling it tomorrow. Now we're going to do figure 4. Release that foot, take the ankle on the opposite knee. Sit back. You're going to feel this in your outer thigh here, okay? Hold there. It's hard. If it's hard standing, there is a laying down version of this, but I'm only demoing this version tonight. Feel that stretch. Bend your bottom knee a little bit more to get a little deeper if you can. Come on up. We're going to go ahead and turn the other side. I'm going to reach back, grab that foot, bring it towards the seat if you can. Lift that chest, visualize gently pushing this hip to the front. You don't have to go far. Inhale and exhale into your stretches, even with just body weight. If you don't do squats all the time, you will feel this. If you do them all the time, you just do more. You get more reps. Release, take this ankle on the opposite knee. Hold on to something, figure 4 stretch, sit down and back. Again, feel the stretch in the outer thigh here, a little bit into the glutes. Hold there. Inhale, exhale. Whenever you're doing your stretches, make sure you're taking a breath. Exhale, get a little deeper, bend that bottom leg if you can. Good. Come on up. We can do another one where we take our feet out, take our arms out here, Take them back behind you for a little bonus chest stretch. Hinge forward, flat back if you can. Hold there, get those hamstrings, back of the leg. Good. All right, we're almost done. Heart rate should be down. Inhale, exhale. Hands on the thighs, roll it up. All right, good job. So there, we went through 4 basic types of squats. Which one was your favorite? Comment below. Don't forget, always modify or just leave one out if it bothers you that day, if your just knees aren't having that great of a day. It happens to me too. And I say, you know what? No legs today. I'm doing chest and back. Feel free to do that. It happens. So hang in there, keep improving, keep trying new things, and slowly but surely you will get stronger. Come back and see me. Like, comment below what types of videos you would like to see, and I hope to see you soon.